Hello folks and welcome to another video. So in this one I'm going to be debating whether or not we should actually consider boycotting the new PlayStation 5 Pro. Now the reason I say we should consider boycotting it is because I don't think Sony's behaviour has been particularly good with this, and looking at what Copilot here has brought up, the key takeaways from the PS5 Pro, this is just to do with the disk drive. So the PS5 Pro won't come with a disk drive, and it also won't come with a stand. Now, most people that I know stand their console up because, you know, we don't have unlimited space in our living rooms, and if you're like me, you have a lot of systems, so you want to stand it up. So already the console is going to be about £700, which is a lot for a games console, and on top of that, you're going to have to spend another probably £80 to get the disk drive, and then a further £30 to get the stand. So maybe you can get them as a bundle and pay £800, but I mean £800, you're getting close to a fairly decent PC for that price. That's a lot more variable from what it could do. So let's see, PlayStation Direct probably has the best stock of it, of course, which it would do because it's Sony, so they already factored that in, thinking we're gonna my thinking with Sony here is they are trying to sell you a system without a disk drive as a test to see whether you accept it, and then go all digital, because of course once you're all digital, Sony control the prices for whatever you're buying, don't they? Whereas right now, if you were to go on to CEX or any shop like that, you can buy second-hand games and they're a lot cheaper. You know, games that have been out years, for example, might go for as little as £10. Whereas Sony can keep the price artificially high forever, more or less, on their platform. So I think this is a test, and I don't appreciate being tested by a company that's supposed to make products for me. You know, at the end of the day, I'm the consumer, and I don't appreciate what feels like Sony testing to say, oh, let's see if we can release this new console at a really high price, and then also not include the disc drive, and just see how many people don't buy the disc drive and just accept our prices on this. And I can guarantee, if we don't buy this disc drive, the new console will come out without one. And I think that will probably be the end for me with PlayStation, in all honesty. And I think that's why we should probably consider boycotting this. I don't really agree with mid-generation consoles. I think they just add to e-waste. It's a new system that comes out, and I just think it doesn't even look much different. It's got a couple of extra cuts in the side of it there. And give it a few more years and they'll release the PS6. I really don't see the need for these mid-generation refreshes. Also, if you look at the specs difference, raw rendering 45% faster. Now, as to how well that will be used in games, I don't really know. My experience of having a PS4 Pro was that the differences were oftentimes negligible, and kind of harks back to Nintendo 64 with the expansion pack. A lot of the time it would be, oh, now you can play in increased resolution, you can play at 4K, but then you suffer a reduced frame rate. Ray tracing is an important thing. It does increase immersion and whatnot in the games, but most people, I think, are still not overly concerned. I think the reality is, if Nvidia, for example, gave you the choice of a graphics card that has ray tracing, or one that is 2/3 the price with the same or slightly more performance and doesn't have ray tracing, I think a lot of people would go for the one without, to be honest with you. I think ray tracing is kind of, it's not like 3D because you don't need additional hardware for your TV and whatnot, but it feels to me like 3D in that most people just aren't that bothered, to be honest. The spectral super resolution upscaling, that is something I'm pretty sure they could do on the regular PlayStation 5, and I'm sure they probably will do something like that, so I don't really see the big difference there. They say it's a custom architecture for machine learning. Yeah, I mean, it is better, but I'll be honest with you, the way they've marketed it is, let's play you can have high fidelity graphics, but at 60 FPS. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of the time I've found that actually I'm not too bothered with losing a little bit of fidelity in return for twice the performance. So I don't like what Sony are doing here. I think they are testing the waters with the price, and do you know what? That doesn't bother me, because this is a niche sort of semi-luxury item, and if it is expensive, then it is expensive, and you don't have to have it at the end of the day. It is a luxury. And the existing PS5 does a really great job. I mean, look at my review of Astrobot. It plays brilliantly. Plays 60 FPS, beautiful graphics. That game is the prime example from Sony themselves, I would add, of why I don't really think you need this new console. And like I said, I think Sony are, like I said, they're trying to test us. They want us to go all digital. The benefits to us are not really there. Maybe slight amounts of convenience, perhaps. But I just don't see the overall benefits. I do like this 30th anniversary thing, but obviously, I presume you're going to have to really pay through the nose to get that. Yeah, only 12,300 of them been made. I'm going to guess you're going to have to pay a lot more. I mean, I do think that looks really cool. Yeah, I mean, doesn't say price. I don't see price on here for this specific one, but obviously, I'm going to guess it's more. I do really like it. But if I had to guess, I'd say, like I said, it's more money, and also these types of things sell out, and then you're done, really. And I don't think it needs the DualSense Edge controller. I would be quite happy to leave it without that. That's going to add a lot of unnecessary money, I would say. But I'd consider buying one of these controllers when that comes out, because I think that is very, very cool. I don't know, with Sony's recent trajectory with this. With the whole Concord thing going all woke and being weird, and pronouns and all this rubbish in it, and then Sony massively increasing the price of this. I mean, you're talking probably nearly double the price of the existing PS5, and their best example of what's better. Let's have a look. Let's look at the comparisons here. So you've got images like this out here. Now, I've played this game, and it definitely didn't look like this. Perhaps blown up on an absolutely enormous TV. But essentially, it seems like what we're looking at here is maybe increased foliage, increased resolution, and that is probably about it that I can really see. I suppose this, yeah, you see, it does not look so blurry like this when I play it at 60 FPS. But, I mean, is this what we're paying nearly double the price for? 60 FPS and slightly better visuals? Because once you zoom out of the image and you're playing the game, I would wager you're not going to notice this enormous difference. And even if you are, I'd wager it's not worth the price. Sony are in a bit of a hard spot with this, because obviously they want to sell you more hardware. And they want to make a profit on it. I would imagine it's only always, all consoles used to always make a loss at the beginning, and I would argue that this one will actually make Sony a profit. So essentially they're making a profit on it, and then if you don't buy the disc drive, which I'm also going to put out there, I think Sony will restrict the supply of that. If you don't buy the disc drive, not only is Sony making a profit on this console, which I don't really have an issue with, but that is a lot of money they're charging you, is they will also charge you more for the games. So an older game like Assassin's Creed Valhalla that you might be able to buy for £15 in the shop, maybe even brand new with a disc, is now going to cost you £50. And what choice do you have then? If you don't have the disc drive, you have to take the price that Sony give you. Now, I know Steam, for example, I know PCs are basically all discless now, and I know that's been the case for many, many, many years now. But if a developer starts doing something weird, for example, releasing a game like Concord, suddenly you just can't play anymore. On PC, there are ways to get around weird behaviours from developers. I'll leave it at that. On consoles, there's not really. So my takeaway from this is that we need to say no. I know people will buy it, but it won't. I can't imagine it selling in huge amounts considering the price. But we need to say no to Sony. We need to say no to mid-generation console releases, and really we need to say it to the other companies as well. Where they're releasing things like the new iPhone, and it's iterative at best, but still costs a fortune. I think we need to say no to that. Supposedly, there's a cost of living crisis going on in the whole world. And these companies are just massively increasing the prices of stuff. So I think it's time to say no thank you to that. No thank you to the PS5 Pro. I'm quite happy to pay extra for the PS6 when that comes out. It's a brand new system, totally brand new. I'm happy to pay a premium for that. I'm unhappy to pay extra money for a console where the biggest difference apparently is this. And where Sony want to test the waters and see if they can force you into basically having no disk drive to massively limit your options. So I think we need to stand together on this one ideally and tell Sony, no, you will not limit our options, and we will not accept your woke games coming out or any of that rubbish. And, just really fight back. Because at the end of the day, Sony are running the risk here of losing people to the PC market. Well, that's my takes on it anyway, on the PS5 Pro. I have no intention of buying one. I don't appreciate having to buy a console and then buy a ton of accessories just to make it work like a basic console should. The stand probably being the most egregious thing, because it's such a basic thing. It'd be like Apple selling you an iPhone and then saying, oh, by the way though, it doesn't have a back on it. So you can't hold it in your hand. You have to lay it down to use it. Otherwise, you're going to damage it. It's just stupidity and it's money grabbing, and it just smacks of. It just really leaves a bitter taste in your mouth. But that's my views anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, share this video on your socials, and also check out my Patreon. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.